Hello and welcome to another episode of George Reviews. And this episode we'll be continuing to talk about the new Vince Gilligan series starring Rhea Seehorn, Plur1bus, episode 3 entitled Grenade, written and directed by Gordon Smith. Let's go. So we got another episode of Plur1bus that dropped last Friday, and I gotta say, it's just continuing the winning streak of Vince Gilligan on this series. It was fantastic. It was funny, haunting. It was just absolutely everything I could want out of another episode. And written and directed by Gordon Smith, who you might know from Better Call Saul fame for some stuff like this.
You think this is bad? This chicanery?
Or that.
You think of me, you twisted fuck.
Or this.
Broke my boy. I broke my boy.
And he's just a brilliant writer and director. But we start out in this episode, probably my favorite sequence of the episode. It's a flashback. A lot of the cold openings in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad definitely started with flashbacks, so it's a definitely welcome choice here. We get a flashback of Carol and Helen going to Norway in a frozen ice-made hotel to see the Northern Lights, and the entire, sequence, we find Carol just complaining the entire time. She's very miserable in this place. She wishes it was a regular hotel, and Helen's just enjoying the scenery and the atmosphere of the cold and everything, and they go to see the Northern Lights. And, this really shows us about Carol that, she is very much not someone to live in the moment of things, not to live in this euphoric moment with her partner. And it's just very telling, and it kind of tells why she's very hell-bent on them not discussing Helen, not talking about Helen, not bringing up her name, as you'll see throughout this episode. Just a beautiful sequence, beautifully shot. I love the ice. I love the opening of the shot was just so amazing. Kudos to Gordon Smith, because he really pulled off a really great opening, literal cold opening, I would say. But yeah, it was just really great. And after that cold open, we get Carol back on the plane with Zosia. I remember her name this time. And basically Carol's asking about the other immune people, the non-English speaking people. And she gets on a phone call with one of them, and it goes over very poorly, a Spanish-speaking one. She tries to start a dialogue with him. He just kind of yells at her and hangs up. Then she calls back and yells at him and hang up. I'm sure this is going to be like a primary character moving forward. I mean, his name was in the main cast credits. I'm really excited to see that dynamic and how they breach their relationship from here. I think it'll be very, very interesting. But moving on. Carol finally goes home. She gets her in-transit mail from Zosia, and she realizes that she had a gift given to her from Helen. It was like a Bluetooth earpiece kind of thing. And she is very distraught about this. She's very upset, that she had all this opportunity to live in the moment with Helen, from that cold open that we saw. She did not live in the moment a lot with Helen, and, all those memories and times, she couldn't really enjoy herself in that moment, which is very telling. The kind of person Carol is, and, a very, very great character, in my opinion. I feel like we're witnessing one of the greatest television characters ever. We're only 3 episodes in, so I think this is really monumental. But moving on, Carol gets on the phone with Zosia, and she doesn't want them to mention Helen, to not think about her or erase her from their mind, because she only gets to remember Helen, and that's what her grief has taken her to, a place where the only way she can honor her is to telling other people to kind of back off and not mention her in her presence. And I thought that was just such a beautiful moment. And we just get day to day with Carol. She's watching the Golden Girls. Lots of great shots in this, really extreme close-ups on the TV, and then a moving shot of the TV reflected in the back of DVDs. Obviously streaming's dead in this world, so you got to rely on physical media. That's what I've been saying. Always collect physical media, because you never know when streaming's going to go kaput. But anyways, she watches the Golden Girls. She's, just drifting away, drifting day to day through life. She gets delivered breakfast food because they know she doesn't have much left in her fridge. Through this episode, as we find out, Carol wants to be independent. She doesn't want anyone waiting on her hand and foot. She throws away the breakfast. She goes to Sprouts. She sees that the Sprouts is empty, and so she, demands their Sprouts be back. So the hive mind come together and come in with trucks and deliver the food for Carol, deliver all the supplies and everything for Sprouts. And even though she wants to be independent, she still feels like, she's being waited on hand and foot. This leads us to a scene with Carol once again on the phone with the hive mind, with Zosha, and she, sarcastically asks for a hand grenade, just give her a hand grenade. And so Zosha ultimately delivers her one. She invites Zosha in for a drink with the hand grenade. Comes into a very beautiful monologue delivered by Rhea Seehorn, just counting down the memories of Helen and recalling different things, and really getting into her psyche about what this hive mind is to her and how it's wrong. And we got a little bit of that in the second episode with the stripping away of individuality. This is more a personal attack for Carol, because not only is she, having to deal with this change of humanity, of everyone around her, mostly everyone around her being in this hive mind, but she also lost the love of her life, Helen. And, it's just like a combination of those two things are really rattling her in a lot of different ways. Not only that, this episode's really dealing with how far the hive mind will go to wait on hand and foot for Carol, what they'll do for her to help her. And even though that they want her to join them, so just compares it to akin to someone, if you walk by someone in a river and they're drowning, wouldn't you help them without question? And that's just a ridiculous notion to us as the audience and to Carol, because she's not drowning, she's still herself, unlike the hive mind. So Carol thinks they wouldn't really give her a hand grenade, so she pulls the pin and sets it off. Zosha throws it out the window, covers Carol as it explodes, and now her windows and houses outside of her house is on fire. They go outside. Zosha collapses because she is wounded. Carol, in a very well, shaky cam kind of shot sequence, I really, really enjoyed. And, Zosha says help is on the way. We then go to a waiting room with Carol, and she's approached by a DHL guy who I guess is helping out as a nurse or whatever. I don't know. But, it's just kind of funny that, it's like anyone can, everyone's helping, and this kind of hammers home the point that they are willing to do anything to help Carol. Anything she needs, give to her, even though they said it was maybe short-sighted of them to give her a real hand grenade. What if she asked for a nuclear weapon or an atom bomb? And this is like she's testing the limits. I think that's what we're going to get to in the next episode, of her really testing the limits to an extreme degree of this hive mind, and they just want to make her happy. She sees this as an opportunity, and we'll just kind of see where the next episode goes, because this is where the episode ends. A little bit shorter than last week, unfortunately, but still really tight, very, very well put together, very well executed in the writing, directing. Rhea Seehorn again knocks it out of the park. She's just an amazing actor, and I can't wait to see her get that Emmy. Come on, you got to give it to her. What's the competition this year anyways? But but yeah, a really great episode. Just 3 episodes in, we're already on this really interesting journey about grief, about what it means to be individual, and what it means to fight for what you really believe in and what you believe should be right, and what that kind of goes against what society wants and things like that. But those are my thoughts on episode 3, Grenade of Plur1bus. Now, what did you think about this episode of Plur1bus? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me what you like. I know there's some hate going around saying there's nothing happening in the show, but I completely disagree. People comparing it to Breaking Bad episode 3. It's like, come on. Walt spoilers for Breaking Bad. Walt does kill Crazy Eights in the basement in episode 3, but technically Carol has a higher kill count. She killed millions in episode 2 before the Breaking Bad mark in episode 3. So, I'm just saying we don't get to see those deaths, but, we definitely has a lot of the same impact. And I'm loving Plur1bus. I think, yes, while it is a slow burn, it is very much giving us very interesting character building and world building, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the season goes into the next season after that. I'm on the ride for this journey. I applaud Vince Gilligan as always. I think he's doing an amazing job running the show. It's just such an interesting and unique concept. I'm really excited to see where it goes. But that's going to be my thoughts for this episode of Plur1bus. Please like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. My name is George Ray. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. Please remember to keep calm, keep cool, keep chill, embrace great cinema, embrace Plur1bus. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace out.